Marvel villains can make or break a movie. Some become legends, others are forgotten the moment the credits roll. Starting with Dormammu's wasted cameo in Doctor Strange. Dormammu is one of Marvel's most legendary mystical villains. In the comics, he's a dark dimension warlord, a terrifying sorcerer with immeasurable power. He's supposed to be Doctor Strange's ultimate rival, the one enemy who makes the Sorcerer Supreme tremble. But what did we get? A giant floating face in the sky. Strange tricking him in a time loop. Sure, it was clever, but Dormammu wasn't given personality, depth, or menace. He wasn't a character, he was a cosmic wallpaper. Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin isn't just loved, he's feared. Back in 2002, he set the standard for comic book villains, with his manic split personality and terrifying presence. But when he returned in No Way Home, Dafoe took it to another level. Without the restrictive mask, his facial expressions alone made him scarier than ever. His brutal apartment fight with Tom Holland's Spider-Man remains one of the MCU's darkest moments. When you hear the name Venom, you think of one of Spider-Man's greatest enemies. In the comics, he's brutal, terrifying, a monstrous reflection of Peter's darkest side. So when Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 3 teased his arrival, fans were hyped beyond belief. But then, disappointment. Sony forced Raimi to include Venom against his wishes, which meant the character was shoved into a crowded plot, underdeveloped, and completely wasted. Instead of years of rivalry, Eddie Brock's arc felt rushed and paper-thin. Venom's mishandling in Spider-Man 3 was so bad, it scared studios away from the character for a decade. Only with Tom Hardy's Venom did the character finally get a second chance. But for many fans, the sting of Topher Grace's Venom remains a reminder of wasted potential. Alfred Molina's Doc Ock is the definition of a tragic villain done right. In Spider-Man 2, he was more than a man with robot arms. He was a brilliant scientist consumed by ambition, a mentor turned monster. His depth, his humanity, and his redemption arc made him unforgettable. When Molina returned in No Way Home, it felt like no time had passed. Still menacing, still tragic, but now given closure. His presence proved that, with the right writing, a villain can transcend comic panels and become legendary. Mads Mikkelsen. That name alone should have guaranteed greatness. He's an actor who can make even silence terrifying. And in the comics, Kaecilius is a dangerous sorcerer with deep ties to Strange's mythos. On paper, he should have been unforgettable, but Marvel undercut him completely. Instead of developing Kaecilius into a complex rival, he was turned into a disposable minion for Dormamu. He had no real personality beyond loyal zealot. Kaecilius could have been Strange's Loki, a villain with charisma, presence, and long-term impact. Instead, he was an entry-level boss fight, a tragic waste of both actor and character. Wanda began as a hero, but in Multiverse of Madness, she became one of Marvel's scariest villains. Driven by grief and desperation, she hunted Strange across realities. Elizabeth Olsen delivered raw power and chilling emotion, a villain whose motives were heartbreakingly human. What made Wanda unforgettable wasn't just her power. It was the fact that we understood her pain. She wasn't evil for the sake of it. She was a mother willing to do anything. That complexity gave her screen presence that overshadowed even Strange himself. In Marvel Comics, Crow is one of the most dangerous deviants, an eternal rival to the Eternals themselves. He's cunning, powerful, and a shapeshifter with immense influence. Done right, he could have been an Avengers-level threat, but in the MCU's Eternals, he barely exists. A CGI creature who shows up, growls, and vanishes. Fans who didn't read the comics barely even remember his name. And when you have Bill Skarsgård, the man who made Pennywise iconic, and you give him nothing to work with, that's not just wasted potential. Crow should have been a terrifying presence that haunted the film. Instead, he felt like a side quest monster in a video game. No Marvel villain has had a journey like Loki. Introduced as Thor's mischievous brother, he quickly became Marvel's first great villain in the Avengers. Charismatic, cunning, and unpredictable, Tom Hiddleston made him impossible to hate. But what makes Loki beloved is his evolution. From villain to anti-hero, from god of mischief to savior of timelines, Loki is proof that when Marvel invests in a villain, they can carry entire stories. He's more than loved, he's iconic. This one hurts the most, because in the comics, Gorr is legendary. The God Butcher isn't just another Thor villain, he's the villain who makes Thor question his very worth. He's terrifying, philosophical, and truly godlike in his menace. When Marvel cast Christian Bale, fans thought, this is it, the perfect storm. And Bale delivered. His performance had menace, sorrow, and presence. But the film around him betrayed the character. Love and Thunder drowned Gorr's menace in comedy, cut his scenes short, and made him feel like a subplot in his own story. Instead of a cosmic horror that terrified gods, Gorr was reduced to a rushed arc with little time to breathe. Fans left the theater frustrated, not with Bale, but with Marvel. Gorr the God Butcher could have been the next Thanos. Instead, he became Marvel's biggest missed opportunity. The Mad Titan, the villain who actually won. Thanos isn't just Marvel's greatest villain, he's one of cinema's greatest. His philosophy, his presence, his terrifying calmness. Josh Brolin made him unforgettable. In Infinity War, Thanos wasn't a cartoonish overlord. He was a complex character with twisted logic. And when he snapped half the universe away, he redefined what a comic book villain could be. Thanos is the gold standard, the ultimate example of what happens when Marvel gets it right. In the comics, every single one of these villains is legendary. But in live action, what matters most is how Marvel chose to use them. Some, like Thanos, Loki, and Green Goblin, were given the screen presence to shine. Others, like Gorr, Dormammu, and Crow, were wasted in ways fans may never forgive. Marvel has shown us both extremes. The question is, who do you think Marvel wasted the most? And who's your pick for their greatest villain ever?